share a few insights into Oliver. Pay attention, Sylvie. Anyway, face it, where do I start with this? Because I could keep going all day, but Rachel's asked me to keep it short and sweet. So, as ever. Anyway, so let's start by taking a journey back to April 1976 and Oliver's arrival into the world. James Callaghan has just become Prime Minister. The United Kingdom had won the Eurovision Song Contest, not much has changed. Save your kisses for me. You should know that, right? And James Hunt was shortly to become Formula One world champion. And I'm sure you'll all agree there's something of the James Hunt about Oliver.
And not just a rhyme.
Anyway, Oliver was born to Pat and Roy in a pub in South London. He settled quickly into his new environment, and he's rarely left since. Oliver was named after the Latin word for peaceful. Well, you got that wrong. After showing early academic promise, Oliver was packed off to Dulwich College, an august educational establishment. Not only succeeded in fulfilling Oliver's academic potential, a C in GCSE maths being a particular miracle, but also instilling in him the values of the college, such as respect for women and humility, that shape him today. Anyway, following his departure from the college, Oliver went on to study at two prestigious further education establishments in London, completing his studies in record time. This was then followed by the journey into adulthood, which we can all say is still largely work in progress. Oliver's maintained his youthful good looks, although having good authority, spends at least an hour on his hair every day. And even more impressively, never forgets to put it on. Oliver quickly discovered a natural talent for fathering children. Man with even more children than Boris Johnson. Being blessed with Annabella and Noah, Henry, India, Edward. They keep on coming. Am I allowed to say? I'm allowed to announce? No, we'll keep it quiet. I like the look on Theo's face. That's worth the money itself. Anyway, I understand from Annabella that all of you are willing to be considered for adoption. Please address all inquiries to Annabella. And we then fast forward to 2016 when Oliver met Rachel. And as already been said, he met his match. And actually someone with a larger chest size than him. Despite all their respective friends considering them completely unsuitable for adult relationships, well, here we are today. And as we all know and would agree, marriage is for better or for worse. And I'm sure you'll agree, Oliver couldn't have done much better. And I'm sure you'll agree that Rachel couldn't have done much worse. So I'll leave it, Cuddy. But Oliver and Rachel, they just work together, a bit like bacon and eggs. Hall and Oates. Lauren Hardy.
Thanks, so much shit in with.
Let's have an hour on this. What?
Clearly, anyway, the whole purpose of this is to try and Prince Oliver. But I should say a few words about Rachel, who I'm sure you'll agree looks amazing. She arrived in our lives 5 years ago with a splash, literally, having helped herself to one of Jill's bikinis, a bottle of gin, and made herself at home in our hot tub. Sort of a bit presumptuous. We never thought there'd be a woman existed that could out Oliver, but there was. As beautiful as she is completely barking mad, Oliver has truly met a soulmate. But it has to be remembered that Rachel wasn't actually Oliver's first choice. Back in 2016, we sat down together We had a long heart-to-heart about where life was going, what he wanted. And Oliver said to me, you know, Bill, you just move into my spare room. We can spend the rest of our lives together. Playing darts, going to the pub, watching sporting highlights from the 1980s. And I said, oh no, Oliver, seriously, I'm flattered, I really am. But I'm just not sure it's going to work. Looking back, it was probably one of the worst decisions of my life. But I've learned to accept that Oliver and Rachel are together, and I've had to live with it. And I've
I do share it with you. I mean, you get them most of the time.
Anyway, for Rachel's benefit, there is a bit of knowledge I should share, and that's the 4 rules of Oliver Bailey. So rule number 1 is that nothing good ever happens after midnight. The first time I ever forgot this rule, I ended up asleep in a roundabout somewhere in southeast London at 4 o'clock in the